Hello, my magnificent and steadfast Aries souls. Welcome back to Astrology Unlocked, your sacred space for ascending to the highest peaks of your soul's truth. I am your guide, and if you have found your way to this message in this very moment, I want you to feel deep in the bedrock of your being that this is a divine appointment. The universe itself has conspired to bring you here. Pause with me for just a moment. Before we climb further, find a space where you can feel the ground beneath your feet. Take a slow, deep, intentional breath in. Hold it for a count of 3, feeling the strength gathering in your core, and then exhale, releasing the immense weight of the worlds you so often carry. Let your shoulders, which bear so much responsibility, finally drop. Allow that fiercely guarded heart of yours to feel a tremor of recognition, because there is a profound truth that has been making its way toward you, a truth about the sacred nature of your silent, unseen journey. Beloved Aries, there is something deeply holy about being truly seen. Not for the titles you've earned, not for the mountains you've visibly conquered, and certainly not for the mask of impenetrable competence you've learned to wear to navigate this chaotic world. I'm talking about being seen for the quiet, unyielding faithfulness of your soul when no one is watching. That hidden, disciplined, honorable version of you, that is the version the cosmos has been observing with profound respect. And it matters more than you could ever possibly know. If you can feel the truth of that statement resonating in the very marrow of your bones, if your soul is stirring with a long-awaited acknowledgement, I want you to do something sacred for me right now. Go to the comments and declare your readiness to the universe by typing, "I'm ready to discover God's gift to me." Consider this more than just a comment. See it as a powerful affirmation, a cosmic seal upon your intention. And if you have not yet joined our tribe of seekers, press that subscribe button now so that we may continue to walk this path of awakening and mastery together. In ways you cannot possibly perceive from your vantage point, on the trail, the grand architects of fate have been paying the closest attention. Not to criticize your every stumble or to keep a cosmic ledger of your perceived failures, but to honor your integrity, to witness how you continue to show up with an honest, devoted heart, especially when progress feels agonizingly slow or altogether invisible. The universe has seen how you keep choosing the path of character, not the easy path of emotional reaction, but the high road that demands immense sacrifice, superhuman patience, and a courage that is forged in solitude. You have built your life without demanding recognition. You have never been one to chase the fleeting warmth of applause or to measure your soul's worth by the hollow trophies the world hands out. And that quiet, steady, methodical way of living, it speaks a language that resonates through the cosmos with the power of an earthquake. As the ancient wisdom tells us, humanity is often captivated by the outward appearance, by the shiny surface of things. But the universe, the divine source, it looks upon the heart. It sees the foundation. It honors the structure. Here is the truth that your soul may be aching to hear today. The universe has already entrusted you with far more than you realize, and not a single ounce of the weight you've carried has been wasted. It's so easy to miss what is holy when the world is screaming at you to chase what glitters. We live in a culture that worships instant gratification, viral success, and the shallow performance of happiness. And yet you, magnificent Aries, have always known on an instinctual level that none of those things can provide the profound, unshakable peace your soul has been meticulously building toward. Money can be a useful tool, a wonderful resource, but it cannot settle the depths of your being. Attention can feel comforting for a fleeting moment, but it cannot validate your spirit. Pleasure can numb the ache of the climb for a little while, but you already know how quickly those sensations fade, leaving you once again with yourself on the solitary path. Deep soul-level peace is different. It is a state of being you have been earning step by methodical step. It doesn't just visit you. It becomes a part of your inner architecture. It anchors you through the most violent storms, and it comes from a place far beyond the reach of external appearances. You have been entrusted with moments that would have utterly crushed a less resilient soul. You have weathered seasons of waiting that felt heavier and colder than they appeared to the outside world. You have taken on assignments hidden within the fabric of ordinary days, responsibilities that others would have quietly set down because the personal cost far outweighed any public recognition. But you didn't put them down. You held them. You carried them. You carried them without turning your pain into a performance, and you did it without ever demanding to be seen for the true weight of the load. You didn't need a cheering section to keep doing what was right. And most people, my friend, will never understand the profound power of this truth. When the universe decides to trust a soul with true lasting influence, it rarely begins with a platform, a title, or a spotlight. More often than not, it begins in the silent crucible of endurance. It begins with you learning how to remain steady when nothing in your reality seems to be moving. It begins with you holding your ground, defending your principles when not a single person is clapping. You have lived there, in that silent, thankless space. You have been the calm center of a storm where chaos could have swallowed you whole. You have chosen the quiet dignity of restraint when your heart was screaming for revenge. You chose the long-term wisdom of strategy over the short-term gratification of pride. You chose compassion when it would have been so much easier to simply prove your point. And you did this not because it was easy, but because the ancient wise core of your being, the part of you connected to the timeless wisdom of your ruling planet, Saturn, knew it was the right thing to do. That, my dear Aries, is spiritual maturity, and heaven never overlooks it. Let's pause for a moment. I want you to think back to the last season that truly stretched you to your limits, the one that demanded more than you ever expected to give, the one where you had to fiercely guard the flame of your own heart, even when life felt profoundly unfair. You kept giving without any guarantee of a return. You stayed soft and open-hearted when bitterness would have been not only easy, but seemingly justified. Those days were not meaningless. They were not a punishment. They were a sacred process of refinement. As the sacred texts say, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." Every single choice you made to stay grounded, to act with integrity, planted a seed in the cosmic soil that you couldn't yet see. You have been faithful in 1,000 quiet ways. You sent up your prayers and intentions, even when the heavens felt silent and distant. You offered forgiveness even when no apology ever came. You stayed in situations where love required the courage of a warrior, and you found the strength to walk away when you knew that staying would have fractured the very foundation of your soul. That kind of profound discernment, that inner knowing, speaks louder to the universe than any words you could ever utter. Because true, unshakable faith is not proven by what you declare in the light, but by how you conduct yourself in the shadows when no one is watching but your own soul. And here, my friend, is the most liberating part of this entire cosmic truth. You were never doing any of this to earn the universe's approval. You were living this way because it is a direct reflection of the magnificent, honorable, and deeply structured being that you are. And that is precisely why the cosmos trusts you. Not because you are flawless, or your journey has been filled with lessons. Not because you never felt doubt. Your doubts have been as vast and deep as the valleys you've traversed. You are trusted because even in the face of uncertainty, even in the grip of fear, you kept putting one foot in front of the other, climbing ever upward. The divine guards your comings and your goings, from this moment forth and into eternity. You may not feel remarkable on most days. You may wake up, look in the mirror, and see only the fatigue of the journey. You may wonder if any of this quiet, unseen effort truly matters in the grand scheme of things. But I am here to tell you, with every fiber of my being, that the cosmos knows. The energetic record of your integrity is etched into the fabric of time itself. And the universe has already decided this heart is steady, this soul is strong, this life can be trusted with more. Let me invite you into a picture for a moment. I want you to visualize this with me. In ancient mountain villages, there was once a quiet, sacred role given to a single person each night. This person was known as the lantern bearer. Their task was not to illuminate every home or to draw attention to themselves with a grand bonfire. Their job was simply to carry a single steady flame through the narrow, winding streets, protecting that flame from the wind and the rain until the sun returned. It was simple work. It was unnoticed work. There was no praise, no recognition. Most of the villagers slept peacefully, completely unaware that the suffocating darkness was being held at bay by one steady, humble light. And yet if that one flame were to go out, everything would change. You, my beautiful Aries, have lived the life of that lantern bearer. You have kept walking forward, guarding the sacred light of integrity that the universe entrusted to you, even when the road felt desolate and the silence felt heavy. There were countless moments when laying that lantern down would have been the easier choice, when blending into the comfortable darkness would have felt so much safer than standing out as a solitary point of light in faith. But you didn't. You chose again and again to keep the flame alive. And here is a universal law I want you to etch into your heart. Those who protect the light in the hidden seasons are always the ones who are trusted to lead the way when the new dawn arrives. This season you are standing in right now is not a random occurrence. What the universe has been patiently, meticulously forming within you has never been just for your own sake. The ironclad discipline you practiced when no one was watching. The profound humility you learned through the long seasons of waiting. The calm, unshakable strength you developed under pressures that would have turned others to dust. All of it, every single moment, has been preparation. As the prophet Zechariah reminds us, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. What felt small and insignificant to you, another day of showing up, another ethical choice, another moment of holding your tongue, was actually the universe watching you lay the foundation for a grand cathedral. You may have thought this period of your life was about surviving, or about waiting for some external permission to finally step forward. But it has been about you becoming someone who can be trusted with what is both delicate and devastatingly powerful at the same time. The universe does not release its greatest gifts, true influence, divine favor, profound breakthrough, carelessly. And this is not because the source withholds goodness, but because it is a master architect that fiercely protects its creations. Blessings and opportunities that are given too early can overwhelm a soul that is not yet deeply rooted. A massive harvest given to one who has not yet built a strong enough barn will only rot in the fields. But you, magnificent soul, have shown the cosmos something rare. You have carried immense responsibility without letting it corrupt your worth. You have held access to power without letting it inflate your ego. As the Apostle Peter wrote, "Humble yourselves under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." Heaven has seen your steadiness. The cosmos has witnessed your masterful apprenticeship under the tutelage of Saturn, the great teacher, and the universe knows with absolute certainty that you are ready. Take a moment with me now. Let your mind drift back over the doors that remained firmly shut even when you were so certain they should have opened. Remember the opportunities that passed you by, the ones that left a sting of rejection in your heart. At the time, those closed doors felt like a verdict, like a sign that you weren't chosen, that you weren't ready, that you weren't enough. But now, with the wisdom of distance, you can begin to see the truth more clearly. Those moments were not rejection, they were divine protection. The universe was lovingly shielding you from spaces that would have drained your precious energy, from situations that would have compromised your integrity, from people who would have dimmed your light before you ever had the chance to grow into the sovereign being you were always destined to become. From a cosmic perspective, trust doesn't always look like immediate access or a green light. Sometimes the deepest trust looks like restraint. It looks like being held back until your spirit has developed the muscle and the marrow to carry the full weight of your glorious future. The divine timing of the universe so often confuses our mortal minds because it rarely announces itself with a trumpet blast. It unfolds with a quiet, sacred geometry. When your moment of release finally arrives, people on the outside may say it all happened for you overnight, but you will know better. You will remember the long nights, the nights filled with quiet, character-defining decisions that no one ever saw or applauded. Every unseen act of obedience to your own soul, every moment you chose humility when your ego screamed for validation, every time you stayed silent when pride wanted to have the last word. All of it mattered. It was all being woven into the great tapestry of your destiny. As the Psalms say, "The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in their way." Even the steps that felt like detours, even the agonizing pauses that felt like delays, were still perfectly divinely ordered. And when your moment comes, it will not arrive in fragmented pieces. It will feel like a profound, soul-deep release. It will feel like a key that has finally smoothly turned in a lock you have been standing before for years. Suddenly, everything will align. You will look back and realize that every single detour had a hidden direction. Every pause served a sacred purpose. What looked to your eyes like a winding, confusing road was actually a perfectly straight line that only the universe could see from the beginning. As Ecclesiastes teaches, "He has made everything beautiful in its time," and that, my dear Aries, includes the long misunderstood winter of your waiting. Here is something critically important for you to understand as you stand on this precipice. When the universe trusts you, it also positions you. Sometimes this looks like being moved forward with a speed that takes your breath away. At other times, it looks like being invited into rooms where divine favor has already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. Conversations will shift in your presence. Doors that were once bolted shut will swing open seemingly of their own accord. You will find that you no longer have to push, to strive, to prove yourself. The same cosmic intelligence that watched you labor faithfully in private knows exactly how to reveal the mastery you've earned at the perfect moment. And when that visibility comes, it will not be the hollow, fleeting attention that the ego craves. It will carry weight. It will have substance. It will have the undeniable gravity of truth. Because true, lasting credibility is never built in public. It is only revealed in public after it has been painstakingly forged in the silent, lonely fires of private character. That is why you do not need to rush. You do not need to force what is unfolding. What is real, what is true, what is divinely ordained for you does not require your force. If you are feeling an unusual mixture of deep restlessness and profound peace, right now, I want you to pay very close attention. The restlessness is your spirit, sensing the tectonic shift, the movement of cosmic plates beneath your feet. The peace is your soul's deep quiet, knowing that you are ready. Not because you have everything perfectly figured out, not because you were flawless in your ascent, but because when it mattered most, when the winds howled and the darkness pressed in, you did not let go of the sacred flame you were given to carry. As you step into what is next, my beloved Aries, I implore you to carry the very same integrity that has sustained you thus far. Keep your heart steady. Keep your feet on the ground. The path you are about to illuminate will not belong to you alone. Others who are lost in the valleys below will find their way by the light of the structure you have built. They will find their courage by witnessing your quiet strength. And when they look up and see that light shining from the summit, they will not just see you. They will see a reflection of the divine architect who trusted you all along to carry the flame. Thank you for staying with me, for walking this sacred path to its conclusion. If this message resonated in the deep places of your soul, if you felt that quiet, powerful confirmation in your spirit, take a sacred moment to write Amen in the comments below. Let it be your declaration of acceptance, your way of acknowledging the masterful work the universe has already begun in you, and the profound trust it is placing in you for all that is to come. And if you know another Aries, another steady, magnificent soul who has been carrying their light in silence, who may desperately need this reminder of their worth and purpose today, please share this message with them. It might just be the very reassurance they have been praying for. If you wish to continue climbing together, exploring these cosmic truths, I warmly invite you to subscribe and stay connected with us at Astrology Unlocked. And as we close this sacred space, remember this with all of your heart. You are not standing at the edge of what the universe is about to do. You are already stepping into it. Heaven has seen your faithfulness. It has honored your integrity, and your next great season is already unfolding right here, right now. Go forth and be brilliant.